All right, what's up, beautiful people? So, I want to make this video because I want to help you close more sales. Um, and I kind of want to help you close more sales without, making a different offer, without believing in the product more, and even without actually improving your sales skills on the call. So, this particular video is going to be um, specifically around warm up, right? Warming people up so that when they do get to a call with you, they just naturally have a much higher um, likelihood of closing, basically. So, what I want to cover in this video is a couple different things, and I'm going to show you just a couple examples. So, let me pause this video and get the first one because the first place that you're going to warm people up is actually before you even book a call with someone, and it's actually in the DM. So, let me grab a screenshot of this. All right, so this is a screenshot of just a conversation that we were having with someone in the DMs. And basically, this was a fitness coach, and he was looking to get to 5K per month. And so, what you want to do, like just in the chat conversation with people, is simply, like if you're asked, like let's say you're a fitness coach and you're asking someone about their goals, and they're, a single mom, and they say that their goal is to lose, 20 pounds of fat, right? If you have a case study, a client case study of, Kendra, who was also a single mom who lost 20 pounds of fat, that is a great time to be like, yo, that's a great goal. We've actually helped clients in a very similar situation as you achieve that exact same thing. And then boom, you drop a testimonial or a case study or something like that, right? And it's you putting proof in the DM process. It's also you giving that person hope, which is amazing because they're like, oh, she did it, like I could do it, right? So for example, like in this situation, okay, sounds good. Well, like I said, I think you can definitely crush that 5K goal just based on the content you put out, and you seem to have great work ethic. Here's an example of one of my fitness coaches have helped hit, get to 10K plus per month, right? And so you can just you just drop that in as you're going along, and it adds proof, and that way you're kind of forcing people in your sales process just to see just to see that you have helped people like them achieve the exact same goal, or in this case, double the goal that this person's trying to hit, right? Now, I also could have shared, a testimonial where, we help fitness coaches hit 50K per month, but that wouldn't have been as relevant for this person because this person's just trying to hit 5K per month, right? 50K per month probably seems insane, right? So you want to use something that really closely matches, the situation that the person is in. So that's piece one, is in terms of warming people up so that you have a higher likelihood of closing calls. You want to make sure that if you've got case studies, which you should, you want to use that and you want to put those case studies actually inside the DMs. So that's piece one. Now, piece number two is what we do is when we have somebody book a call with us, the moment they book the call, they fill out the Calendly stuff, they book the call, it's on their calendar, boom, they get redirected to this page, right? And this is, it's basically an assessment. You don't have to use an assessment. You could also use a video sales letter, stuff like that, but we use an assessment. But essentially what this is, so it says, congratulations, your call's almost booked. Please watch this video and complete the assessment to prevent your call from being canceled, right? And so all this is, it's an assessment, and realistically, it actually helps us make the call 20 times better, right? Because I understand, oh, this is fuzzy, this is good, you need this. I have a better understanding of, what they've got, that's really good, and kind of what their pain points or their opportunities or their gaps are, right? But for them, it shows them a couple things when they watch this video, right? It shows them that, number one, we have a process, right? We're not just winging it. There's a reason that we're getting people results, and it shows them our process. Number two, it also helps the person understand, oh shit, here's where my gaps are. Here's where the problem is. Here's what pain points I have, right? And as Hormozi says, the pain is the pitch, right? No one gets on a sales call with you unless they're trying to solve a problem or they're trying to eliminate pain, right? And so oftentimes the pain is the pitch. And so the exact things that this identifies that they need help with, I mean, that's the pitch. That's what we're going to be helping them with so that they can get to where they're trying to go, right? So anyways, that kind of shows that we have a process. It shows what was I going to say? It shows what the problems are, and then it also shows them as well. Like we have more social proof here, so we have proof that this process works, right? We've got video versions, we've got screenshot versions on the page, and then I just say like, hey, if you want to go to my results highlights on Instagram and you just want to scroll through all those results highlights, you'll see 21 like results bubbles, and each one of those things has like 100 results highlights packed onto them because I've been doing this since 2020, right? So it's just like a lot of proof. You also show your process. You kind of show them where their gaps are and stuff. So that's kind of the second thing, is you want to have some sort of an assessment or a video asset or something like that in between when they book the call and when they get on the call. So again, they're warmer leads when they get on the call. So that leads me to the third thing, which would be this. And a lot of coaches don't use this to the degree that they could use this, which is crazy. But basically, like when someone books a call with you, you really want to use the reminder emails on Calendly, and not just like I call these like the basic bitch reminder emails on Calendly. You don't want to just use those, like the ones on Calendly where it just says like subject name, this person name, my email, event name, da da da. Like that's just a confirmation email, right? But what we do is we have a confirmation email, right? We have an email 1 hour after booking, which basically says like, hey, before we chat, make sure you do this assessment, which is the page that you just saw. And then we kind of end it with like, by the way, if you want to see some of our client results, and it links them to a bunch of YouTube testimonials and case studies, right? Why? Because we're trying to get people to see more proof, right? So by the time that they get on the phone with us, it's like, yeah, I see that you've helped a bunch of different people do exactly what I'm trying to do in my niche, right? So anyways, that's kind of like what happens after 1 hour after they book. 48 hours before the call, we essentially say, if you haven't checked out client results yet, click here. This is probably a YouTube playlist, I think is what this is. If I click this, YouTube playlist of some testimonials, yeah. And then this is basically our video sales letter here if they want to watch that. A day before the call, so 24 hours before the call, I just tell a story. I just straight up tell a story about a client, right? And the result that he got, right? Which I think was getting, he was like, yeah, his second 30K month or whatever. There's a little video linked up. Like I'm just showing them proof. 2 hours before the call, I also think I, talk about some of the results highlights and, make sure you check that out. And 15 minutes before the call, then it kind of goes back to those, basic reminders, right? And so my point is your Calendly reminder emails, you actually probably have to set this up through Calendly workflow. I don't think you can do it with the basic emails. I think you actually have to set it up with workflows, but they should be driving people to your assessment, making sure that they fill it out, or, getting people to watch your video sales letter if you have one of those. If you don't, you should. Showing proof and happy clients and results. And then also, maybe even breaking beliefs. Like something that I could probably put in here as one of my, show up emails is just talk about being burned by coaches before and pre-handle that objection before people get on the phone with us, because we do get that objection a lot, right? Because people have been burned quite a bit. So anyways, long story short, that's what you want to do in those emails, right? And if you collect people's numbers in Calendly, you can do text stuff as well. The text that we send out is just making sure that they fill out that assessment, which is the page that I just showed you before, right? So it's the six-figure strategy scan page, this one here. So just making sure that they do that. So anyways, that's mostly it. That's what I wanted to say, but I just want you to know there's 4 different things when it comes to closing more sales, right? It is, at least this is how I look at sales, right? There's your offer, right? Your actual offer that you're going to make, right? Same with, I guess you can't see this book, but Hormozi's $100 million offer book, right? What's your offer? What is your belief and your conviction in the offer? How convicted are you? Do you believe in the program? Because the more you believe in the program, the more you're going to want to sell the program. That affects your sales close rate, right? So your offer, your belief, your actual sales call process, and your skills on a sales call, right? How good are you at, discovery and making sure that you handle everything? You pre-handle all the objections. How good are you at the end with your pitch? How are you when you handle objections? All those things. That's kind of like the third thing. I'd call that like your sales process or your sales skills. But the fourth thing for me, which we're talking about in this video, is, how good are you at warming people up? Like, are you just getting ice cold, iceberg leads on the phone with you? Or have these people already seen you present your process, and they've seen you on video, and they've seen your client case studies, and they're warmer when they get on the phone with you. And so if you do this, if you do these three things and you implement these three things into your sales process, it's just going to allow you to close more sales and help more people without changing anything else, without even realistically getting better at sales. So hopefully that's helpful. Lots of love, but it's made a big impact in our business, and so I wanted to share it with you. That's all I got. Oh, and by the way, I should say too, if you want help with stuff like this, click the link below, book in a call with myself or my team. Yeah, we'd love to help you grow your coaching business. All right, lots of love. Bye.